Today we are going to have a seminar on Middle East education and job fair 2020. And I want to thank a few people to make this even possible. And these are my sweet panelists, the technical team, Berkeley Middle East Holding in Middle East, Berkeleyme Global in UK, Berkeley, California in US, and training and consultancy divisions. They really work hard to bring all this content and the people on board so they can explain all this beautiful information to the candidates. And this panel is going to discuss a qualification which is called CPA. So CPA from United States. A lot of people feel that it is a CPA, so it can be from any country and it will give the same value. This is really a wrong concept, and a lot of people are exploiting these concepts also. The qualification, which is CPA USA, United States of America, this is the very gold standard, fully professional, high-end, with a very technical assessment, and it build up really good skills. If you sit with a qualified member, which I'm going to sit shortly, you will see that they are really high intellect and highly capable candidates. So let me introduce you with the first. So with us is Mr. Mahmoud.
I would like
please
to
go
thank
ahead.
Musa and Berkeley Middle East to host me for this event, okay, which is very valuable for me. My name is Mahmoud Saad. I'm a CPA, qualified CPA from USA. I work as a finance manager for Khan Sahib Civil Engineering in Dubai, one of the most or top civil engineering company in UAE. So when I start at a single point of time, like back 2012, I thought I need to add to my experience. I need to add to gain experience, to gain knowledge, deep knowledge, okay, to move forward and to be a unique and to stand out among all other colleagues. I keep searching and searching and searching. I found many certificates, many open courses. So I decided to go out for the CPA, which was very good choice for me, and it was the best choice in my life. So when I decided to start CPA, I searched for an institute or a faculty. So I found Dr. Musa and Berkeley Middle East, which was very, very professional. They support me with everything. They support me how to register with NASPA and took care of all the working people. They started the process from scratch, and they gave me the whole training which I required to clear all the exams. It was a challenge to me, and it was a success which I'm proud of now, which I couldn't do without Dr. Musa, of course, and Berkeley Middle East. It was one of, as I said, it was one of the most success in my life. So which helped me already a lot and add a lot of experience and value to me and helped me to move forward and get promoted in my career. Okay. So let me explain to you guys. Studying and adding a accredited certificate to your CV it's the most important thing you should ever think about. You should think about always to add a accredited certificate to your career, because you are here in UAE. It's a very competitive market. You are competing with so many nationalities, so many experience, so many backgrounds. Unless you are having a certificate in your hand from accredited country, okay, you will be lost. You will not be able to compete with them. So once you are having CPA, ACCA, CIMA, any certificate which Berkeley Middle East provide, this really will help you a lot to move forward and get a good job. Because these certificates are giving you the most important thing you should need to be in a top position, to be a finance manager, CEO, financial controller. All of this you should get all, because experience alone, if you are working for a company and you are making only one part of because finance field is it's a big field and you cannot cover everything alone. If you are working for one company, you are only doing a part of the whole process. So you don't have knowledge of what's happening for other section. So unless you you study and develop your skills, you will not be able to move forward and get a good job. Finance and accounting is very, very, very good field. It's very, very good field, and one of the most highly paid field across all other fields. So what I'm recommending to you guys, go ahead and always try to add more skills to yourself. Always add skills, because if you are not moving forward, you are moving back. You cannot stay in your place. The whole world is moving around you. So you have to keep sharpening your skills. You have to keep adding skills to yourself, adding qualification to yourself. It's very important, because you should not stay in your place. You should have the motivation to be a CFO, to be a finance manager. And it's not that much difficult. So when I started CPA, everyone was telling me, oh, it's a nightmare, you cannot clear it. It's very difficult. But this is not true. If you have the commitment and you have the dream to achieve this one, then you will easily do it. It's a matter of commitment only. This is my advice to you guys. Go ahead and try to add skills to yourself before it's too late, and you will keep regretting the whole life. Unless you do it now, you will continue and you'll be regretting because this is the right time to do it now. And it's not that much expensive. If you compare it to MBA or any other fancy titles, this one, it's required and in the market, and you can get it easily, and you will be stand out across all your colleagues. Then go ahead and do it. It's not that much difficult. You just need only commitment from yourself, and that's it.
Oh, that's great. Mahmood, you have to be with us. We have the other panelists, they are joining. So we have Liza Ashraf. She is also a qualified CPA, and she is joining us. She's based in Abu Dhabi, but right now she is in United States, and she is going to join us. So we will do a mutual discussion, and I'll keep asking an experience so you can share with the audience. Yes, Liza, can we start with your formal introduction, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Liza Ashraf. Thank you, Dr. Musa, for the introduction. I was working as a financial controller before with Etihad Airways, and I managed to get my CPA in March 2020. I just finished it after over 12 months. 12 or 2 months. It was a very good experience, and like Mahmoud said, you need a lot of commitment, but it's definitely good to have on your CV, and something that really makes you stand out, especially when there is a lot of competition everywhere. It really makes you stand out, and it's definitely a certification worth pursuing, for sure.
That's great. So, Liza, when you were in a stage to decide that which course you are going to take, so how you come across CPA and you choose this particular course?
So when I was working as a financial controller, a lot of people around me had CFA, CPA, CMA, CIA, a lot of other degrees. For me, I just wanted to make sure that I would be able to have a certificate that was easily transferable across continents in case I was migrating to the US or Canada or elsewhere. So I wanted a certification that I felt held strongly across borders. And for me, that was CPA. And there were people that my manager, he guided me as well, because he had a CPA as well at that time. So he was able to guide me as well. And that was my motivation. That was my motivation.
That's great, Liza. So we will continue with you shortly. And Asim is here. Asim is qualified professional. He has several qualifications on his shoulder. So he just joined us. So Asim, Mike is with you. You have to introduce yourself and your success journey for this CPA qualification.
Hi everyone, good evening. Actually, when I came in the UAE, at that time, before me, our one senior batch came in UAE. I was CIMA qualified at that time, and these guys they studied the CPA and they qualified together. And after that, all of them, I mean, all the three guys, one of them was a finance director, other one was the financial controller, and one was the group finance manager. And I met them, and I have got a lot of motivation from them. Then I decided I should go for the CPA. So that's it. So currently, I'm working as a head of finance in Dubai in one company in Jebel Ali, and still I'm CMA. And only 2 papers are left for me to pass the CPA. Inshallah, I'll get it with the guidance
So,
of
Asim,
Dr.
Asim, when you came from Pakistan, did you have an idea that CPA is a qualification and it is really very, very good for your employability? Or once you came in this region, then you start thinking about these qualifications?
Actually, in Pakistan, I don't have any idea about that. When I came in UAE, then I got the idea what is the CPA, and I have seen a lot of people with the certification. They have high designations as well. Then I got it is very important for me. I have to go for it.
Yeah, that's a very important observation, because I saw people when they come, especially from Pakistan, they don't have any idea about American qualifications, and max that we see mostly is the ACCA coming from Pakistan, that may be more popular over there. So, uh, Eliza, can you please put some light on what is CPA for those people who don't know, like how many parts it has, what is the course structure, and how it looks, what important things a candidate should keep in his head, his or her head, that they want to do that. And of course, after this, I will take the feedbacks about different other issues with all three of you. Please.
Sure. Can you see the screen? Can you see the presentation?
Yeah, the presentation is seen to everyone, so you can go ahead.
Okay, all right. So CPA USA, we also have CPA Australia, but here we are focusing purely on CPA USA, and it's Certified Public Accountant. The CPA is awarded by the American Institute of CPA, or Certified Public Accountant, and National Association of State Board of Accountancy, NASBA in short. Usually, once you are qualified in the USA, you can do practice in the following countries, including Australia, Canada, Mexico, and you can also practice in UAE. There are other requirements as well beyond the borders of the United States. Obtaining mobility has been easy by the establishment of mutual recognition agreements of MRAs and professional accountancy bodies in 6 countries. So this chart outlines the requirements for US CPAs to work in these countries. So when you start applying for your CPA, you will realize that every state has their own criteria, okay? But at least at the bare minimum, they require you to have an accountancy degree or a finance degree, but they need a minimum of a 4 years degree. Even if you have a 3 years BCom degree, your chances are bright, but you still need to perform tax and audit classes. This is a common misconception that you need 120 credit hours to sit for the exam, which is not the case. This is something that even I had in my head. But what you need is, depending on the state that you're applying for, like if you're applying through Alaska or Michigan or Connecticut, the requirements for each state can vary. But the main idea is that you should have a certain number of credits. In this case, 24 accounting credit hours and 24 business credit hours. And in that, we may specify within those 24 business credit hours, they may need economic specific hours, finance, tax, they may need specific hours. So that is something that Berkeley can walk you through. But Yes, you need 24 accounting credit hours and 24 business hours. Evaluation process. It is a technical process in which Berkeley simplifies for the candidate to understand, and it is mostly done course by course. What evaluation process is, basically it is making sure that you're eligible to sit for the CPA exam. And this is something that even I had to do. And I believe maybe Mahmood and Asim also had to do. But basically, it's going through your degree and making sure that you have the credits or the courses are in line with what the CPA requires. Evaluation is mostly done course by course. With Berkeley, evaluation can be done within 3 days minimum or 8 weeks, depending on the strength of your case. Not all states in USA offer international exams. Yeah, that is true. So at least a few years ago, you had to do the exams in USA. I know a lot of my colleagues, a lot of my friends who had to write these exams, during those times, they had to fly to the US to give their exams. But luckily now the exams have become available in UAE. But these are the other states. If you register with these states, that will allow you to take exams internationally. Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas. I was registered in Connecticut. So I was able to write my exams in UAE. Who should take this program? What is the career path you are looking at if you get your CPA? If you're looking to be the CEO of a company, a chairman, a CFO, financial controller, you should take the CPA. If you want an inventory manager position, an accountant, banker, accounts payable, accounts receivable managers, compliance officers, risk managers, even full-time and part-time students. When you're a student, this is the best time to take the exam because you're already in the studying mindset. It's just another few more months and you have the CPA in your pocket. So if you want to progress in your company, if you want to set yourself apart from your colleagues, CPA is definitely a program for you. So what is the CPA cycle? How do you go about this? You meet with Berkeley and they go through your degree. They go through your individual courses that you took for your degree and they perform an evaluation. This is where it takes maybe about 3 days to 8 weeks. And then you have your official evaluation approved by the evaluator of AICPA. And then you start applying. Then you start applying for your tests or you start applying for your filing. And you receive a notice to schedule. This is a bit, I think this is where a lot of people get confused. Even I was confused myself when I was going through this process. But yeah, you get your notice to schedule and they say that you have to, this is the paper that you take to the exam. For your board exam, it's a good example. You need your exam ID, your candidate ID. And that's what your notice to schedule provides you. You take this notice to schedule to your exam and it tells you you have this much time frame within which you should write your exam. And then when you feel you're ready, you pay your international exam fee and then you schedule your exam and pay the exam application fee as well. And then you take your notice to schedule to your exam. What is the program structure? So CPA has 4 exams, BEC, Business Environment Concepts, Auditing and Attestation, Financial Accounting and Reporting, and Regulation. So Business Environment Concepts is more related to, when I was studying it, I remember thinking about all the economics that I studied. And then there was IT related material. There was operations related material. So it's very, whatever you study in your bachelor's degree, while you're pursuing your bachelor's degree, whatever you accomplish there, you see a lot of parallel to that in your BEC. Auditing and attestation. Anybody who has an auditing background, again, will see a lot of parallel from their work to the auditing background. It teaches you about your ethics, what the ethics that the auditor should maintain, your professional responsibilities, and then it teaches you how to go through a proper auditing process. Financial accounting and reporting. covers financial statements, financial reporting standards, what are the things you need to keep in mind for individual line items in financial statements, and then state and local government related regulation. Regulation covers a lot of US tax law. Federal taxes is the majority of the concept. Then you have business law. Then you have your ethics and responsibilities if you are a tax accountant. It covers those, what are the ethics that you need to maintain if you decide to pursue that career. Overall, what the next few slides will tell you is that pretty much you need to dedicate about 3 hours for each section of BEC, which we discussed here, the 22% governance, 22% economic concepts. So you will pretty much cover about 3-hour lectures with our faculty at Berkeley, and then you will have a 3-hour practice session, which is something that you will have to dedicate or commit to. And then the other part is where you take mock exams, another 3 hours. And by the time you do this for individual sections, you would have put in about 360 hours per section, per BEC, for audit, for FAR, and for reg. So overall, you're committing to about 360 hours per section. Now the exam structure and the exam format. So each section of the exam is scored on a scale of 0 to 99. Candidates must get a score of 75 points in order to pass the section. It is important to understand it is not 75, it is a 75% or a C+ grade is not equivalent to a passing score. You must achieve at least 75 points in order to pass. So even when you're doing your mock exams, that is a goal that you're always trying to get. You're always trying to go over 75 points. That is when you know you are passing and you are doing well. Testlets, the format of the testlets. So for BEC, the format is you have 2 testlets, each with 31 multiple choice questions. So overall, you have 62 multiple choice questions. And then you have task-based simulations, 4 of them. What happens here, it is a different version of multiple choice. What happens here is it's like your real world scenario where your documents are just given to you and you have to look for the clue in the haystack. And that's where you're just given a bunch of documents and you should identify what answer is relevant to that specific question. And that's what task-based simulations are. And then you have written communication exam as well. And there'll be 3 written communication exams. That is for BEC. But for all the others, for audit, FAR, and regulation, the format is pretty much the same. You have between 33 to 38 multiple choice questions in each section, and there will be 2 sections of that. And then you will have, again, task-based simulations. The rest of it is task-based simulations. Again, you're given a bunch of documents, you're given a question, and you need to understand how do these documents apply to the question, and how do I provide the correct answer? And that's what task-based simulations are. And this is where mock exams are extremely helpful, because as you go through those questions, you find yourself reducing your time. Initially you may be taking 2 or 3 minutes per multiple choice questions, but you will see you need to manage your time when you're writing your exams. And the goal is to reduce it to between 30 to 45 seconds per question. And that's where practicing the mock exams will be very helpful for you. Exam dates, yes. So there are specific windows between which you can give your exams. It's not available, your exam window is not 12 months. It is between January to March 10 is when you can sit for one exam. April 1st to June 1st is when you can sit your second window. July 1 to September 10 is your third window, and October 1 to December 10 is your fourth window. So that is also another key thing to remember, that you have specific windows within which you can write your exams. It's not open all 12 months. Each exam is 4 hours. The exam fees. The application fee is $175. For each exam, it is $208.4. And then if you're writing your exam at an international center that is outside of the US, you pay an additional $356. So approximately we're looking at about $750 per exam.
I think, Liza, this is very, very interesting here because a lot of candidates, when they come to us, they talk about $10,000, $20,000 a master fee or a graduation fee,
Yes,
versus the fee structure that you are sharing is rural. I think it's most of the people who cannot pay much bigger amounts. For them, this is just like a heaven.
exactly. I agree, because and it's such an international certification, because it crosses borders. It's easily recognized. You put it on your title, it's easily recognizable wherever you go. It sets you apart. And
That's
for a fee that is much lower compared to MBAs. Yeah, I agree.
so. Let's take Mahmood and uh, the Asim again on this point. Mahmood, like when you came in Dubai first time, were you aware about CPA as a good qualification, or you get it to know about this qualification here? Second point is how hard it was for you, and my third question is that does it make a change in your professional skills? Please go ahead with that.
Okay, when I come newly to UAE in Dubai, I was not aware of all the certificates. I was not aware of all CPA, CMA, and this certificate. But I would have the desire and the dream because to have one of the global recognized certificates from accredited institute or university. This was my dream always. I don't know what certificate should I go, but I was aware that there is certain certificates which is everyone knows that it's like a global passport for accounting and finance, which I have to go for one of them. So when I start searching, I found out like CPA, CMA, and ACCA. So I made easy choice. When I come to you, you convinced me that CPA is like a big umbrella for many parts in finance and accounting and audit, because it's almost covering management accounting, financial accounting, and audit and taxation. So it's like a big umbrella for different sections. So I was not aware of all of this, but with your help, with Berkeley Middle East help and your support, you gave me the whole knowledge and gave me the whole difference between each certificate and what the benefits of each one. So I made my choice and I made my decision. Second one, when it comes to how hard it was the certificate, to be honest, it's a matter only of dedication and commitment. If you have the commitment, that's it. It's not that much difficult. It's only about commitment. You should have a commitment from day one until you clear all the 4 exams. If you have the commitment only, this is the main important thing. You should have a dream in your head and the commitment. That's it. It's not difficult. Trust me, guys, it's not difficult. And if I have a single advice to anyone, I will advise him to always invest in themselves. So invest in yourself. Instead of investing money outside to go and buy flat or do any other things, just invest in yourself. Because this thing will continue the whole life with you. If you have a certificate, a credit certificate, a good certificate, a global certificate, then you can easily, it will be always with you. It will be always with you, and it will help you to, if you want to work in UAE, if you want to go abroad, if you want to go global, anywhere, any country, it's still accredited and still have the respect. So, as I said, it's like a global passport that you have this knowledge, and you have this knowledge to fill this position. And as I mentioned before, it will help you to grow fast. It will help you to stand out among all your colleagues. Of course, when I got my CPA, it makes life easily to land and get a good job offer and get a good title. Because all the big companies Okay, all international companies, of course, they are looking for someone who having the experience and having a good certificate in his hand, because this is a proof for him that he can fill a good position and he will do the requirement for this position. So when I get the certificate, it makes my life easier to get a finance manager title and a financial controller title or CFA title. Sorry, CF. What's called this? Chief financial. Sorry, chief financial controller. I forgot the title.
Yeah, the financial controller, yes, true.
Yes. So it was really helpful for me and helpful for anyone, definitely.
That's great. I think the most golden statement that you give is invest in yourself. And I can see by my examples that when I meet a couple of people, I tell them, look, do this, do this. After 2 years, you will have a different outlook. So the first impression from few people I get that is that, oh, it's too expensive, oh, we cannot do, although they can do. And I see them on Facebook, LinkedIn, they are traveling to country one, country two, spending holidays, and I see them in shopping malls wasting their money, but still they don't invest in themselves. So I think you are a proper role model for them, that who invested in themselves, and now you are in a very changed status. So my last question from you is for the day is that what professional skills you feel you acquired before this qualification and after this qualification?
Before CPA, I was not aware of all the front section in accounting and financing and audit, because you have management accounting, you have financial accounting and reporting, you have station, and so on, so on, so on. So I was doing, when I joined here a company, I was doing only one tiny section in the finance, and I was thinking, yes, I'm doing a big job, and this is the whole thing in finance and accounting, but it was not. When I got to study, I was able to have a deep knowledge of all financial things. I have financial standards, how to solve the issues when it comes for reporting, how to present my reporting for the management, how to present the reporting for the internal auditor or external auditor. So it helped me a lot. It will give you a deep knowledge for all financial issues which you have to know in your day-to-day work.
That's great. I think it's a great learning, and as a senior in CPA profession, I always expect that you will keep supporting the upcoming CPAs for their jobs, references, and other as alumni, because all the fresh graduates are looking to the seniors so they can guide them, and they can help them to get into. And Mahmood, as I understand, is a very nice, lovable and kind person. So if you know him, you don't know him, you can approach him on LinkedIn. And if you're looking for some guidance, definitely he is there here to help us.
Sure.
So I want to thank you, Mahmood, for joining our panel, and I will look forward to have you in some other shows who have more insight in that. Let's go to Asim. Asim, what you feel, what is the professional skills you acquire before CPA and after CPA journey? Like, what did you feel any change in yourself? I think your mic is mute, so if you can unmute it, would be very nice.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's okay. Please go ahead.
Yeah, actually, when I came here, at that time I was CMA, and I think so. I appeared in 21 exam in CMA. But when I started a CPA, so I got the one difference, the main difference. CPA is a strategic level. This is the main difference for decision makings and feasibilities and for the core work of audit. So this is the thing that I got that is unique in the CPA syllabus. And
So,
actually, here we have almost a community of, I think so, 30 to 35 certified accountants here. And out of them, 3 are CPA qualified. And they are having highest designations.
wow,
That is the
that's
main
great.
thing.
So that's a real message for all the Pakistani audience that if they really want to be high profile, they have to come up, upgrade themselves and do this qualification so they can lead. All American organizations, they are working all over the world. The good thing about American organization, they're always a priority to hire a CPA as a number one benchmark qualification. And there are obvious reasons. What I understood is that being an American company, if you go anywhere, you still have to file your returns. You have to comply with U.S. law, FATCA, and SOX. There's Dodd-Frank, and all other legislation you have to follow. So it's very good for American companies that they get these people in India, in UAE, in Gulf, in Bahrain, who are already know an American text and an American language. And this really helps them to employ them because you have to report to head office at in the end. So it becomes really easy for all these companies to communicate with the regional offices. And my last question from you is, what is your advice for upcoming people that what they should do in order to get a better job in Gulf?
Actually, first of all, I will advise them to get any international recognized certification. So first of all, I will recommend them CPA. And to pass the CPA, when I have got admission in CPA, so two things that I plan, two things. The one that I will not miss the class, the first thing, and the second thing, even if I will not study one day, so I will consider that I cannot pass the CPA. So we have to work hard to get past the CPA. If we are already certified, then the way is different. If we have academic background, then we have to struggle because it's a strategic level.
That's great. I
And
think
with the guideline of especially Dr. Musa and Berkeley, it's a very good institute, and I have learned a lot, and I got too much inspiration from Dr. Musa also as well. So I recommend the students, if they are willing to go for the CPA, they should go one time to Berkeley. They should visit the Berkeley one time.
thank you very much, Asim. This is really nice words, and I want to thank you to join this panel, and I'm looking forward to have you more and more in the next shows.
Thanks a lot, sir, for the wonderful session. Thanks a lot.
We will move towards Liza. Liza is she gave us a very deep insight about CPA. So, Liza, what are your suggestions for upcoming? Because you are from India, so what is your advice to them? Those who because we receive daily basis lot of resumes, and they are little bit regionalized qualifications. Once they come here after 6 months, 7 months, they start feeling, oh, this is an international market. It's totally different. It's more sophisticated and more work-based, skill-based. So what is your advice as your closing remarks for the day?
That they won't regret it. If they get the CPA, you're not going to regret it. It definitely sets you apart. It gets your resume noticed. People want to talk to you. They want to understand. They want to talk to you, and they want to bring you forward, and they want to interview you. Because that's a big difference, I feel, with my CPA as well. People just want to talk to you, and they want to understand how you can be helpful for them, how you can add value to the company and whatnot. But CPA definitely gets you your foot in the door. I believe that. Yeah.
That's great. I think Liza is a very nice person, and she's very guiding, and she's a professor also. She's teaching CPA and doing a professional job, and I feel that any upcoming person can contact Liza on LinkedIn and even to Berkeley. So she's always available to help and support. And I want to thank Liza for joining the panel today from United States, and I'm looking forward to have you more in the next shows.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Musa.